In the face of these frauds like John Kasich and like the Lincoln Project, I see a guy like Kanye West, who is a little eccentric, a little out there, probably not fit today to be president, not just yet, at least. But I look at a guy like that, I see what he's talking about. I think that guy has a lot more business in American politics than any of those frauds. Kanye West, he did his first campaign rally. We played some of it yesterday on the show. There's one bit that you can't find in a lot of places. I don't know, it seems like it's being covered up by the internet or something. No one has clipped it out, at least. So I went through the whole rally yesterday. I had to go through several versions of it to find this bit, because sometimes audio drops out at these important parts. Kanye West gives a definition of freedom that is more sophisticated than probably 70% of Republicans and conservatives could come up with.
Politics, America, Trump, Biden, nor Kanye West can free us. The only thing that can free us is by obeying the rules that were given to us for a promised land. And the freedom does not come from an election. The freedom comes from you not loading up pornography. The freedom comes from you not taking the Percocet. The freedom comes from you not downing your brother and your sister. The freedom comes from you putting that gun down and not shooting people at the gas station. It has nothing to do with this election. It only has to do with God and God's people.
Kanye West has given a more conservative and more precise definition of freedom than the vast majority of conservative and Republican politicians and thinkers could today. It's so funny, after this rant that he gave, there are many people on the left and the right who are saying, Kanye, he's crazy, he's gone insane. He needs to get the help that he needs. I see this all over Twitter. He needs help. Kanye West sounds more sane than the vast majority of people in our public life, and certainly than most people on Twitter. What is Kanye saying? He's saying freedom will not come from an election. Freedom will come when you stop watching porn. Freedom will come when you stop taking drugs. Freedom will come when you put the gun down and stop shooting people at a gas station. This definition of freedom is an ancient definition of freedom, and it is the Christian definition of freedom, which says the man who sins is a slave to sin. Coincidentally, it is the definition of freedom that many of our founding fathers would have understood. John Adams, who says our Constitution is built for a moral and religious people. It is unfit to the governance of any other kind of people. You need to be a free people to have free government. It's not the other way around. The government does not make you free. The government cannot recognize a freedom that you do not possess. You have to be free to govern yourself. And what is freedom? There are these two competing visions of freedom. There is the kind of modern, squishy, lib, weak version of freedom, which is you're born free. And then society tries to stop you from being free and educate your freedom out of you. But as long as you get naked and protest in Portland and do whatever you want all the time and take whatever drugs and have sex with whoever people and eat whatever you want and drink whatever you want, just follow your appetites as far as they can go, then you'll be truly free. That's the lib, squishy, crazy version of freedom. The correct version of freedom, which is conservative and ancient and recognized by our founding fathers, is the idea that actually you're not born free in the sense that you can govern yourself. You are born as a little baby. Babies aren't free, they're very dependent. And then you are educated in freedom. That's why we have the liberal arts. We educate ourselves to make sense of our freedom, to tame our passions and appetites, to be, as John Adams says, a moral and religious people. And then, when you can control all of those passions, then you are free to govern yourself. That is a higher freedom. It's a freedom that eludes virtually everybody today, because we are bombarded with things that compromise our freedom. And I don't think it's a coincidence that many people who have a strong interest in continuing to compromise our freedom and bombarding us with things that send us down bad paths, I don't think it's any coincidence that those people and their kind of lemmings in the public are trying to call Kanye West crazy. Is Kanye West a little crazy? Yeah, he's always been a little bit crazy. I think most celebrities are a little bit crazy. I think he would tell you that. But ironically, the thing he's being called crazy for now is some of the most sane stuff we're hearing on our political scene. And so they've got it. The left has to use that science, capital S, trademark over the E, to diagnose him as crazy and shut him up and probably send him to an insane asylum for speaking the truth. They'd like to do that to all of us, I think.